In today's episode, I'm going to be taking you on a journey as I renovate multiple properties and give you guys quick tips and tricks on how to save money, how to stay in budget, and how to make the most use of materials and also your subcontractors. So you're not going to want to miss this. Stay tuned, like and subscribe as well. So coming to our newly renovated latest condo. Prior to this, there were Section 8 renters in here. It was cash flowing well, probably about a couple $100s a month. And it's a beautiful renovated property. And what I decided to do when the last renter's lease ended and 3 of my other properties in this complex, those all ended as well. I decided to renovate them all at one time. It really helps me save on material costs because then we can order things in bulk, and then also with the labor costs as well, because as far as the timeline goes, and a little bit of saving on actual costs, but they can just move from unit to unit to unit, and they're all on one property, so we can stay more on with the timeline of things as well. And as you can see, we kind of renovated them all the same, and that was to one, save on costs, but also because we looked at the comps, so things that have sold at this property and what they look like. So whenever you are getting into real estate investing, the key is to know what something will potentially sell at by looking at what's already sold recently. So I'm talking about in the last month, in the last 30 to 90 days. We want to kind of see where the market is right now, because something that sold 2 years ago at that price isn't really going to be sustainable in today's market. That's the first thing you want to look at, is what sold recently, and then what furnishings did they do. So this one almost exactly copied one of the comparables that sold at this price point. So we're listing this at $279,000, which in this complex is average going for renovated properties. But we made sure that we put in all new paint. We did all new cabinets in the kitchen, stainless steel appliances. And then we also made sure that we replaced this area and redid the schematics, because before the stove was here, and so we knocked down this wall. We noticed that a lot of people actually liked this extra counter space, and feeling like when they walked into the unit that there was more of an open vibe. And for us, especially when it comes to staging renovated, fully new renovated properties, we feel like sometimes less staging is better, because then they can picture their own furniture in here. So we did do some light staging, which was recommended by our realtor as well. And then we also renovated the bathroom. Before, it was a Jack and Jill style restroom. So we have a full bath here and then a half bath in the master as well. And for us, it just points out what could potentially be fit right in here. But the key and most important thing that I love about this property is that it is literally right across the ocean. There is so much potential to have a beautiful view while you're living in the islands, and be right across the ocean, and also have mountain views when it's nice outside. So as an investor and previous engineer, I've never been one to be aesthetically inclined, and I heavily rely on looking at the properties that have sold on the market, what those people did in their design. And what I noticed recently was that people still like the gray and white vibe. They like the natural aesthetics and lighter colors, especially because we're right across the ocean. So even blues and greens. And so that's how we kind of chose the backsplash. We kept everything really neutral, because I find that when people have kind of a blank slate, then they can fit in their more colorful personality or colorful furniture or paintings, and that is where really your eyes get taken to instead of, you know, a bright orange wall or, you know, black ceilings and things like that that really stand out and are good to be different. But always, always, always go back to looking at the properties that have sold before. And luckily for me, the contractor that I used has done over, I think, 15 renovations in this complex already as well. So he was a crucial team member as far as when it came to design and kind of guiding me to some options and things he's seen before. And so I would highly recommend you getting a contractor or someone who has done renovations in that area recently, who kind of knows what other people have done, because that's going to help you really just implement that and hopefully get the highest price point that you can as well. So this is a crazy story how I bought this property and even found it. I was searching on Facebook Marketplace, because that's one of the ways you can buy properties off market. That means not listed with a realtor. And it was owned by this crypto lady who wanted to sell it for $100,000 in crypto. I do not own crypto. I don't know what that means, but I had messaged her and said, hey, would you take $100,000 in cash, basically, that I was going to use from a line of credit, so use the bank's money to purchase. And she was open to it. So I ended up purchasing it, and on market, if she were to list it, it was selling for $150,000 to $160,000. So I still got a huge discount, and the renovation cost was came out to about $60,000, and we now have it listed at $279,000. So we will keep you updated and stay tuned for more of the renovation progress. We just finished walking through the first renovation condo with a contractor who was there, and they had to start work again. So now we're headed into the second renovation that we're working on, another condo in the same building, and it looks like they have made some progress. We got all the renovations kind of started at the same time. So luckily he could just move his contractors from place to place using the same color scheme and kind of just doing what works. So good thing for me is my contractor also bought condos here and renovated for himself. So he already set a price point, and you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. We're just using that same strategy, same layout, and the only real difference in the renovations is gonna be where it's located. So if you've ever lived in a condo complex, like there's condos that are, especially on this property, there's ones that's near the ocean, one that faces the mountains, ones that you can see the parking lot. So the view is gonna matter a lot. This one faces the interior versus the one we're just at, had a really nice ocean view. But some people, you know, prefer not to be facing the ocean because of the salt water and the effects that it has on all of your stuff inside. It kind of gets a little, that salty, rusty, gets like that quicker. One of the most common features in older buildings, especially in Hawaii, is popcorn ceilings. So we had them remove that right away. Number one, it's dangerous. A lot of the popcorn ceilings contain asbestos, which is bad for your lungs, causes cancer, all this kind of stuff. And it's really outdated. Nowadays, people like a simpler texture, like this smooth, and it really was hard to clean. I remember my first rental that I bought, I tried to clean it with a broom and they're just flaking all over the place. Probably really bad for your health too. But with the smoother texture, it just looks better, cleaner, more modern and updated. Yeah, so this one faces the mountain. So this is the view from here. Like I mentioned, all the condos are the same layout, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath. And what is really gonna make a difference for the buyer is just what view that they want, because they're all gonna be pretty much remodeled in the same way. You've just seen the renovation process. Now we showed you kind of the end progress of all of the numbers and what that looked like. So if you have any questions about what it took during the renovation, how to find the deals like we did, and what else we're up to, we're gonna be showcasing more renovations as well. So make sure you check out our previous clips where we did interviews of realtors and showed progress too. And do not miss out. Make sure you like and subscribe. And like I said, any more questions, type it below. We'll be answering them in future videos. So with that, take care and aloha.